Okay, so I saw the Backrooms recently and I loved it. And I came home and it inspired me to take a shot at designing like a backroom style block palette for my own world. Because I thought, like, how cool would it be to like build a complex beneath my base, like a 500 block by 500 block just level, and like it could be like accessible via walking through a painting to emulate the like no clipping mechanic. And so I came home, and as you can see by all of this, the gobs and gobs of yellow wool that I have, I took a stab at recreating just like the initial, like the very first photograph of the Backrooms, like that iconic image that was, oh my god, Shimkin, go! I'm not gonna kill you. Go, swim. You don't belong here. Oh, I'm moonwalking. Anyway, I went underground. I carved out a big ol' room, and I recreated the very first Backrooms image. And I was really proud of how it turned out. And I took the whole thing apart because that wasn't where I wanted to build it. Like right, like into my main like mining shaft. And then afterwards, I was literally as soon as I was done, I was like, man, that would have been like really good content to record. Discovering like what like how exactly to emulate the exact look and feel of the Backrooms and get the shaping down perfectly. And so today, we're gonna go back down, and I want to rebuild the Backrooms as like its own little dedicated diorama into my mine shaft, and just leave it there and refer back to it when I eventually find a different spot to build the full complex later. And that's a long ways off because I discovered that mining wool in beta is it takes so much time. I think I have everything already. Yeah, we're just gonna go down. So yeah, in my infinite wisdom, I constructed a really cool and algorithmically relevant build, and dismantled the entire thing without filming a single second of it. And now I'm trying to undo that mistake by rebuilding the whole thing with you guys. So this is the remnants of the set, as it were. And it really was a set, because the whole thing was like smoke and mirrors. I only built what was like directly seen by the camera. I believe I was positioned right here. So if you can imagine, use your imagination and just think of the back rooms. Picture them in your mind. Put them here with the power of the human brain. It looked really cool, I promise. Took a lot of yellow wool. And I think I can reconstruct most of it from memory, but I do have a picture on my phone to refer back to on standby if need be. I've actually already fucked it up. We don't need this. This is very cool cave, thank you. So the main block palette I used was yellow wool for the floor, sand and sandstone for the walls, and oak planks for the ceiling. Or just normal planks, because that was the only kind we had back in beta. And I had a reason for using all three, which I'll explain as we begin to go, but I'm gonna start with the very first wall. Boop. Boop. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. 3, 4. Let's see here. Each entrance was, I believe, 3 blocks wide and 4 blocks tall. So that's what we're going to start with. The walls were basically like a stripe pattern with alternating columns of, not that, of sandstone and regular sand. But the bottom layer, there's a bottom row that was all sandstone, and that was to kind of it's meant to kind of like represent the molding of the walls. If you remember from the image, there was like a thin border of molding. I don't like that it's called molding. I don't like the word mold. So the entrance looked like that. Actually, no, it didn't. I fucked it up. Okay, so this is what the entrance looked like. And I'm going to just prematurely place that there. Nope. Yes, actually. So this is exactly where I stood. And it really was just like a matter of taking what I could get my hands on, using the best with what I have, because the block palette in this game is really, really finite. So I'll begin to explain my logic for why I used what I did. See right here, notice how this isn't like why these stone blocks are still here. It's because as I begin to fill this out with wool, you'll see that because of how scarce wool was, I only put wool down where it was visible from that angle that I just showed. And I think I'll leave it that way when rebuilding it like I am right now, because again, like, it just needs to look good on camera, and the full complex is still going to... Oh my god, baby! I can't even hear you, for some reason. Aww. You're trying to murderize me right now, but you can't, because you're too tiny. Aw, aren't you the greatest? Look at you. Look at that great American patriot over here. Are you the greatest? We love the slime blocks. We love the slime chunks here in beta. We love the beta slime chunks. They give us lots of slime balls to make sticky pistons with. Sticky pistons, yes. It is stickiest pistons, they say. I looked at him and I said, I'll make the greatest jeb door you've ever seen with these pistons, yes. Anyway, most of this is like already like laid out for me to fill in, so I don't have to remember where it all used to go. But the reason why I used yellow wool was because yellow wool is admittedly a little bit too yellow for what I'm trying to emulate. But the thing is, I wanted the ground to feel a certain way when walking over it. And wool was the only way to achieve that, because if you recall, like in the original 4chan green text, one of the original like one of the only canon details we have about the backrooms is the like musty, mildewy, like damp carpet, and using like sandstone, which is closer in color to what it actually looked like, just was not achieving that effect. There wasn't a spongy softness to the sound as you walked over it. So I elected to go with yellow wool as really the only option for like a proper backrooms carpet. I chose sandstone and sand for the walls because I didn't want it to be the same material as the floor. Because walls are not made out of wool. It just doesn't feel right. It's also a little bit too samey. It's also, again, too much yellow. Adding even more too much yellow, I think it would just ruin the whole look. And I feel like I could accomplish making the walls look vaguely textured with much better options. The way I'm remembering this is actually I'm going to use the boop 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 the ceiling as a reference point, being 3 blocks away from each other. And there was also a wall right here. My memory is beginning to return. I believe there was also a wall right here, and a wall right here. Yes, okay. Excellent. And that stretched to there, and that stretched to there, I think. Because this is where the elbow is in the photo, I think. I'm completely raw dogging this. I have not opened my phone yet to look at the original image that I made. I am just retracing my steps through educated guesses and nothing more. I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to worry about this wall. The reason why there's like a billion torches on this wall is because it was originally like, it was really freaking dark with just the glowstone in the ceiling. So I tried a little bit of camera trickery and just spam torches on all the walls that weren't visible from the camera angle, as it were, and that gave it a little bit of extra light. Also, this wall, hang on. All right, I'm gonna hop onto this D. Okay, yep, that's looking pretty close, I think. It'll all come together. This is like This is a super trust the process kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I actually got it right, and it is 4 blocks wide. The only problem is I don't know if it's exactly where it's supposed to be relative to everything else. That looks right to me, I think. 1, 2, 3. So this was actually a hard decision to make because in the original photo, this wall right here, it doesn't reach to the ceiling. It's a little bit, it stops just before. It's more like a divider than a wall. If I think that might have been what it like originally was intended to be. So I had to make like the executive decision of just taking a little bit of creative liberty and making it extend to the ceiling, or just like full on commit to the bit and completely hang on. Or full on just like commit to the bit and cut off a whole blockage of height there. And I decided with the latter, and I actually think it ended up looking pretty good. I think a little bit of like the mistake. This is so weird to talk about, but like there was like a little bit of mystique not knowing what's behind this wall and getting to peer over it a little bit and knowing that there isn't really like a doorway here like originally like you could imagine it being like or like in my first couple attempts at making this room with having this fully extend to the ceiling, it was like, oh, what's behind this hallway? Like, where does this lead? Like, does it stop? Is it a dead end, or does it like go through a doorway? And there's a lot more left up to the imagination. But I decided to commit to accuracy's sake, and I still think it looked pretty good. There still could be a doorway here, it just wouldn't be as tall as the other ones. This was one of the more shameless sections of the build, in which I just blatantly did not even try to finish it. I think I only did this, like, top row, because if I build the wood in here, and run back to the staging point, yeah, you can't see below the wall, so you just don't even have to finish it. It just worked anyway. That's awesome. Hold on, wait a minute, that is freaking epic. I love, like, camera bullshit like that. Okay, I'm confused now though because stone is still there, but it's okay. While I get all this worked out, I am just going to finish the ceiling. So I've explained why I did the sandstone and the wool, but I should probably explain the wood because the wood, admittedly, doesn't really look much like it belongs in the original photo. It's not really that yellowy. It's more brown than beige, and it kind of clashes with the other two colors a bit. So my reasoning was, the other options I've seen people use were stone slabs, or just like, again, like more wool or sandstone, but I really didn't like how it looked because it looked too modern. Because if you remember, like, the backrooms are like a recreation of like an office building in like the 70s. And one thing I think of when someone says the 70s is like tacky wood paneling. And it has this kind of old, archaic, kind of like abandoned vibe to it that I think really fits with the themes of the backrooms, while not necessarily looking like them. I think that it fits the vibe more so than like being super totally accurate to the original. That's really what I was getting at. Now I just gotta finish this wall here. Oh. Snand. Oh my god. That actually spooked me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not like that. I really didn't like that. It really does feel like cave noises play a lot more often in this version. I don't know if that's just me being like schizo, but it really does feel like that. Okay, this is like pretty close to what I did, but the thing is it feels like there's something missing. Obviously I haven't put in the lights yet. That's like I'm only gonna do, since glowstone is like a non-renewable and kind of a rarer element. The problem, though, is that I can hide one or the other, but not both. Maybe it's because I needed to, like, be further back. Because my photo shows 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is 5. Is it just the angle that I'm... How peculiar. That's pretty dang close. That's pretty fucking close, man. Like, that's almost identical to my original screenshot. The only problem is that for some reason the space is just like, no longer spacing. And I don't want to completely fuck it up by like, hang on. I don't need this. This is not even like visible. So originally, I would stand right here, not move from this spot. Is it my FOV? No, you can't mess with FOV. Oh, I figured it out. Alright, I figured out the problem. Okay, never mind. After referring back to the source image, I was wrong again. It wasn't the entrance walls that were too close. I believe it was the back walls. So, take this whole thing apart. See if I can't get it right after this. I hope I've like properly explained why I made certain creative choices with the block palette, because I didn't just choose whatever like vaguely looked closest. There were some actual like legitimate artistic decisions being made. And, like it's just like a silly Minecraft build, but like I did want to, because I've always been a fan of the Backrooms since they first blew up. I really wanted to do them justice, and I need them to look just right when I eventually build the full complex. So this is kind of like my test run to make sure it all looks perfect. Okay. I had a behind the scenes photo to refer back to as well, and that also confirms that this wall and this wall are both too far away from the camera. And that's why it looked weird. Okay. I don't remember making this hallway 4 wide. Oh, wait, actually, yep, no, it was 4 wide. Apparently. Okay. Interesting creative decision by me. Hallways should usually be 3 blocks wide. That is against the rules. But it's the Backrooms, and so it's meant to be like describing a dog to someone and having them... God, this video fucking sucks. Okay, yes, because it bugs me that much, because it breaks the pattern, I will have to redo this like top lining here. I guess it makes sense for this hallway to be 4 wide, since the Backrooms is like weird or whatever. It's like familiar, but also everything just feels a little bit off. It's meant to be like a memory of a place, but remembered incorrectly. And the more it tries to remember, the more wrong it the more details it fucks up. Okay. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now how does it look? There we go. That's perfect. That's almost exactly like how it looked when I first constructed it. Sans these torches here in the floor. Now that I got the positioning right, that means I can put in the glowstone. Boop. I wanted them 1 block deep set into the ceiling. Like it's still bright, but you're also not seeing the texture of the glowstone, because I feel like the texture really clashes with like the vibes that I was going for. Also, I'm not going to put glass because glass looks too... I found the glass looked too modern. Kind of the same reason why I didn't use stone slabs either. But anyway. This is what I built originally yesterday, like almost 1-to-1. I think the wall of torches do a good job at lighting the place up, since the glowstone isn't as bright as I would like it to be. This whole setup could use a lot more light, but it's the best I can do, I think, realistically, in beta without completely ruining the aesthetics. But overall, I'm like really proud of the design. Here, I will turn off my HUD just for 1 second. That's so cool. I love that. I would take another screenshot, but I already have quite a few for my first attempt. Hang on, I gotta go farm slime really quickly. What? Oh, fuck, I killed it with my diamond sword, shit. I forgot that, like, that ruins slime harvesting for some reason. Because it's, like, doing too much damage, I think. Anyway, so when I build the full complex beneath, what I'm planning is, like, building, like a tiny, like, very pleasant, like, starter home looking base somewhere nearby, and then having the basement also be kind of cheerful. But I want like there to be like a painting that you can kind of like stumble through on accident, and you just pop out in this, like, the painting access tunnel will be like right around here relative to the actual full build, and so you'll just pop out here, and the first thing you'll be greeted with, and all of this will be like actually complete, the first thing you will be greeted to is like the original, like the actual angle of the first Backrooms image. I think that would be super, super cool. Ugh. I don't know how big I want it to be, but big enough that like you can get lost in it. Anyway, this is my design of the Backrooms. Thank you for joining me on this short little build. Before I go, I will show off something else that I did off camera that I'm not going to take apart and reconstruct for content because it'll take too long. But I initially, a couple days ago, I filmed myself building a ship. Truthfully, I really didn't like the footage. I didn't think it was entertaining at all. And also my audio quality wasn't really up to what I wanted it to be, so I deleted it. But the ship remains, and I'm actually really proud of the ship design. I kind of just like freehanded it, kind of building what felt right, and I think it came out like really, really good for what was a first attempt. Actually, not a first attempt. I had built a ship before on a server once, and I kind of took inspiration from that for this design, but this ship was a lot bigger, and I don't think I textured that one at all. I think it was just made out of oak planks. You can see it's starting to emerge from the fog. Oh yeah, I also, off camera, I made this, the beginning of a gravel pathway, and this cute little, like, tree, like, natural tree bridge over this little divide. I really like how it turned out. It's very cute looking. Anyway, here's the ship. Oh, I forgot to make a diamond sword. Fuck. I'll worry about that later. I eventually want to build like a dock to pair with it. And also, which it will help me get to it more easily, because for right now I just have to swim, and swimming takes forever in this version, and I hate having to rely on boats for transportation. They are the worst thing ever. I haven't done much like interior decorating for it. I honestly don't know what like the insides of ships are supposed to look like. Again, this is completely just guessed. It originally had one mast. This was the sole mast, and it was actually like in the middle, but I took it down and rebuilt it with two because I felt like the ship was too big, that one kind of looked almost toy-like, and I wanted it to be a tad bit more realistic. I think the thing I'm most proud of though is like this entrance to like the captain's quarters area here. I'm really proud of like fitting a doorway into the back of the ship. I think it looks so cool. Also, there's like a bird's nest up there you can climb onto. But here's the interior. I haven't done much of anything yet except add this like tentative bed chamber area. But I don't know if I'll remove that. I'm not gonna lie to you, those two creepers on that little island I thought was like an eldritch. It looked in the corner of my eye, it looked like an eldritch being rising from the ocean. I don't know why. This game is getting under my fucking nerves, man. Anyway, yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.